Hi everyone, welcome back to Let's Play The Sims 4 with Abigail and Morgan. I was so happy when I saw that you guys really enjoyed the first part of this series. I'm actually also really enjoying it, and I think the format that I'm making this series with is going to make playing The Sims 4 for the channel a bit more interesting, because I've really been struggling to keep up with my series in The Sims 4. So yeah, I'm really happy to know that you guys enjoy this format, and I was also really happy to see that so many of you remembered Abigail and Morgan and that you were happy to see them back, so thank you so much for your support, it really means a lot. Now, as you can see, today in game it's Summerfest, and it was quite a windy and cold day here in Evergreen Harbor, and Abigail actually a few days ago, as she was struggling to go to sleep, she was browsing the web on her computer and she came across a website that registered a bunch of festivals, seasonal festivals that took place all around the Sims universe. And she saw one that was taking place not far away from Evergreen Harbor, and she decided to organize kind of a vacation for a day from Evergreen Harbor with her grandfather to go to this seasonal festival and enjoy Summerfest with him. Now, I actually found that on the gallery. I was just browsing the gallery for some builds to place into my current household save, and I came across people who who turned the community spaces into seasonal festivals, just like we had in The Sims 3. And I downloaded one. I don't remember the name of it, but you will find all of the information of that lot in the description. And this is where Abigail and Morgan will be spending Summerfest today. And I really like how this lot was. It was so cozy. You have pretty much all you need to have a good Summerfest. As you can see, the traditions that I've set up for Summerfest here are barbecues, fireworks, party spirit, and water fun. So you have a water balloon bucket, you have a grill. You have pretty much everything you need to have fun, except for the fireworks, but I will take care of that later today. So yeah, of course, I wanted for Abigail and Morgan to have a water balloon fight together, but also socialize with people around here, because this is something that Abigail would like to do with her grandfather. It's allow them to get out of the house and just meet some new people. Now, as you can see here, Marcus Flex came over. He was actually selling some seeds on the vending table, and I wanted for Morgan to buy some because I saw that there was an uncommon seed packet. I didn't know that this was a thing in The Sims 4, so I wanted to check it out. But as you can see, the family doesn't really have enough money to buy anything, which was definitely a huge problem for this part. But look at how Marcus keeps on looking at Abigail. I'm really wondering if there isn't something between them. But I do know that Marcus has the non-committal trait, so this might, not really suit his personality to have strong feelings for Abigail, or maybe he could have feelings for her, I don't know. But I really thought it was kind of funny to see that he was always coming to her, even though he was supposed to be selling stuff on the vending table, to talk with her. And as you can see, he just keeps looking at her all the time, and you will see all throughout this day that he will just keep stopping, setting stuff on the table to come and talk to Abigail. I really thought that was really interesting. Now, as you can see, the weather here in Glimmerbrook is much better because it's really warm. Actually, it's hot, I think. And even though the sky was a little bit cloudy, it wasn't as windy as it was in Evergreen Harbor, so I think it was a much better weather to enjoy here in Glimmerbrook. And playing a water balloon fight without having such a huge wind in your hair must be much more comfortable for especially Abigail, because, Morgan doesn't have that much hair, and also he has his hat on. I mean, Abigail does too. But anyway, they really had a lot of fun. They hung out together. They met a few people, as you saw. They talked with, or they chatted with Simeon. They're going to be chatting with a bunch of spellcasters, but I'd like to imagine that they don't know that they're spellcasters. They don't really know that Glimmerbrook is this magical place. To them, it's just like this small village next to Evergreen Harbor, not far from Windenburg. I think actually that Glimmerbrook would be closer from Windenburg than it would be from Evergreen Harbor. I was actually imagining that Abigail and Morgan took the bus together because, of course, there's no cars in The Sims 4. And just look at here right now. Marcus came back to talk with Abigail again, even though he was once again selling stuff on the vending table, which I think is really interesting. Anyway, like I was saying, I thought that Abigail and Morgan took the bus to come here, so they had to spend a little bit of money to travel. But Abigail really wanted to make this day special because they had to give up the house that Abigail was born in and grew up in, and that Morgan worked all of his life to keep up. But they had to give up this house, which was so important to them, and now they had to move house. They don't have jobs. They struggle with the money. So Abigail really wanted to make this day special, no matter how much it cost. And yes, they're struggling with the money, but she knows that she'll manage to bring in some money for the household, first of all through her part-time job for now, but also through all of their crafts. And they've actually had to spend a lot of money from the household to buy for items for their crafts, such as the juice fizzing, the candles, or actually the candles aren't really that expensive to make. It's especially the juice fizzing that's quite expensive. But yet again, for Abigail, it's worth it because it's something that her grandfather really enjoys doing. And she saw that all throughout this Summerfest, Morgan was coming out a little bit more of his shell, and he was chatting a bit more with people. As you can see here, he's chatting with Dennis, and I don't remember this woman's name. I'm so sorry. But yeah, they had an amazing time together, and she was so happy to see her grandfather smile again outside of the household, or actually outside of the house, because usually she was the only one who could see him smile. And here he enjoyed time with people. He chatted with Marcus, and I really think that the family and Marcus are going to become close friends because Marcus called Morgan a couple times. I don't really know what to think of that yet, but I think it's interesting to see that Marcus really likes Abigail and seems to also really like Morgan, and I think Morgan likes Marcus, so that's interesting to see. But as you can see here, Morgan is once again doing some juice fizzing, and I think having this activity really makes him feel good about himself, makes him feel capable again, and it's something that he enjoys doing, and Abigail definitely wants to encourage him to do that. And so as you saw, I decided to have Abigail buy some fireworks, and here she's lighting one up, but I was pretty sure that she was going to, to get fried like this, because she fired the fireworks just underneath this kind of cover, this little roof that came with Eco Lifestyle. Her grandfather was smart enough to not cover the fireworks, which allowed him to actually fulfill this tradition, and Abigail didn't. But she had a good time. It wasn't an awful holiday for her. She really paid more attention to her grandfather than she did to just having fun during this holiday. But then it was the end of the day, so everyone went to bed. They were pretty tired. And now it's Wednesday, and Abigail will have to go to work at the end of the day, but as you can see, the money is really tight for the household, so I tried to figure out a way for Morgan and Abigail to make some money. In the last part, I bought this vending table and placed it just in front of the house, and I was planning on having Abigail sell things on this table, and today is going to be that day because they really need money. So Morgan has been making a lot of juice fizzing, as you saw. Sorry, that was my phone. As you saw, he had been making a lot of juice fizzing. This is a banana fizzy juice, which looks so delicious, to be honest, and I really like the design of those bottles. And all of those juice fizzing are going to be sold on the table. And he also crafted a few woodworking items so that they could be sold as well. And Abigail decided to put on sale some of her candles as well. For now, she's still asleep. She had a very, very energetic day yesterday, so she had to rest up a bit. But yeah, Morgan has been crafting a bunch of things, and Abigail will be selling them for now. And actually, by the end of next part, I think, we'll be getting towards the end of summer, which means that Abigail will be starting her freelance crafting business, and she's definitely really excited about this. I think also I will have her continue working on her fabrication skill because this will be definitely really handy, and within a couple of days we'll be able to vote again on some NAPs, Neighborhood Action Plans. There you go, I forgot the name of those for a second. But also I really want for her to be able to go and vote for the makerspace in Conifer Station in the community space area that we visited in the last episode. She has, I think, 60 influence points to use, so she has quite a bit to spare to be able to vote on whatever she wants to, and her grandfather will have that as well. As you saw, he was still working on his gardening skill which he needs for his aspiration. And by the way, the freelance botanist aspiration has become quite difficult to accomplish because right now I'm stuck on the weed or water plants 10 times because plants don't need to be watered as much as they needed in the past, which makes this step of this aspiration kind of difficult because if you don't plant 10 plants in your garden, which Morgan hasn't, well, you won't be able to fulfill this step of the milestone until a few days. And he's still, I think, stuck at 5 plants weeded or watered, which is definitely kind of annoying. So here I had him plant some pineapple, which I don't really think is logical since we are in Evergreen Harbor, and I'd like to imagine that Evergreen Harbor is kind of in the north, and the weather, as we can see, is kind of cold sometimes, although here today was kind of really hot and really sunny. But yeah, usually I think it's quite cold, so I wouldn't see a pineapple manage to grow on the ground here. But as you saw, I decided to have Morgan buy a lottery ticket because today was the lottery. I don't know yet if they manage to win, but just imagine if they win everything they'll be able to do. I guess if they win the lottery, maybe they can just move house and go back to the house that they had to give up, maybe. I would definitely miss this house because as I was playing actually for this episode, I realized how much I enjoy the layout of this house, and each room is so airy and simple and nice, and especially the kitchen, dining, and living room. I like the lighting, you know, the light tones in this house. I just really enjoy playing in here. And so here we had, I think it's a waste manager that came to check if we weren't throwing things away too much, because this lot has the recycle lot trait, which is a trait that came with eco-lifestyle. So that means that those waste manager will come from time to time to make sure that we aren't that we're respecting the rules that we have to follow in a way. And here I thought it was really cute because Abigail decided to start knitting on her own, although she had to give up halfway through her knitting because she had to go to work. And there is a weird glitch happening when it comes to knitting because the Sims, when they stop knitting halfway through, they cannot start over. You know, they need to frog the knitting that they're currently working on, because for some reason they cannot sit down and knit anything, which is definitely really annoying. So she'll have to frog this one up, but I will have her start over again. And here Morgan, after his nap, when he saw that his granddaughter was off to work, he decided to go to the bar where he used to hang out at with his old co-workers. This bar since then has been renovated. I don't remember who made the renovation, but once again I will try and remember to leave all of the information in the description because I really like the renovation of this place. I think it looks much better. It's much more, it keeps this old vibe of old train station that has been renovated and turned into a bar. And it has also this slight lighting, with the candles and the fairy lights everywhere, which I really like. And it's once again very spacious and airy, which allows the Sims to not have as many routing issues as they might have, especially in bars, because all of the Sims that spawn in the bars in The Sims 4 are crazy. But here you can see Morgan talk to Francine. I don't remember her last name, actually, I forgot. And here you can see Marcus calling again, because I actually created a club called the Evergreen Elders, because I think I talked about this in the last episode, but I wanted to create a club just for the elders of Evergreen Harbor because it's a world that has a lot of elders in it. And I wanted to have Morgan join them. So I made Francine the queen, in a way, of the club, the leader of the club. And then I had them gather here, and I tried to have Morgan join the club a few times, like he was drinking bar drinks, which was one of the requirements I made for this club. I had him meet all of the members and chat with all of them, be friendly and funny with them, which are also requirements for this club. I had him play pup games, which is the third requirement for this club, and every time he asked to join the club, he did not manage to get in. And this really annoyed him. As you can see here, he's going to yell at Francine and she's going to be shocked. But I'd like to imagine that there has been something happening between Morgan and Francine, because I played once. I tried to record this series so many times, which is why I decided to go for another format for it. But at some point when I played on my own in a way, I had Morgan and Francine hang out together, and he wanted to flirt with her, and she flirted with him on her own. So I think there is also something between them. Maybe something happened. Maybe they were old friends and they had a crush on each other, but nothing ever happened between them, and now they're just old, and maybe Francine has this old grudge against Morgan, or maybe Morgan is not necessarily really comfortable with her and she doesn't think that he would fit into the club. I don't know, but I really hope that eventually he will manage to join this club, because by the end of this episode he still hasn't managed to join the club. So then he just went home and went to bed, really frustrated and tired. I think he'll try again, but I really hope that he'll manage to finally get into this club, because it can be quite fun to have him finally have a group of friends that he could hang out with and really get along with. But anyway, now he's back home, Abigail is back home as well. I'm just going to take care of all of them, and I'm actually going to end this part here, you guys. Once again, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any suggestions on things you would like for me to explore with Morgan and Abigail in The Sims 4, please let me know in the comments. I love reading your comments, it means the world to me. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye everyone!